everyone, Kitobi here. I have purchased some mica powder from Small Tongue. There are 36 colours in this lovely container, 10 grams each container. I thought I'd do an unboxing and then I'll show you how I mix these. Oh, very satisfying. Okay, this is the first time I've seen inside. They're all black. All right, can we actually see what's inside? What do we got? Ooh. Okay. This is silk purple. Bronze. All right, I'm going to get them all out. Blue, golden blue. Oh, that's actually quite lovely. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get them out of the box. Oh, look. They got your little scoops. Yeah, I'm going to get them all out of the box and we'll display them here. Here I have all of the 36 colours lined up as best as I possibly could. I will put the names of them in the description below, as they are here. Red gold, golden, light gold, ancient copper, rose gold, orange, brown red, ruby red, copper, tan, coffee, bronze, brown, silver grey, silvery white, iridescent green, iridescent gold, iridescent red, iridescent blue, iridescent purple, pink, apricot pink, mermaid, silk purple, violet, lilac, golden purple, purple, blue, sky blue, brilliant blue, golden blue, blue green, golden green, moss green, tea green. For this demonstration, I'll be using silvery white, ruby red, and golden. This time with feeling. So what we've done is we've spent a bit of time printing off some labels, probably about 15 minutes, cutting them up, and then labeling the lids and the box itself. So I know A, where I'm picking up my colors from and where they need to go back. And in the future, if I need to replace them, I'm going to have a list printed up and I will be able to refer to that list for what colors I need. So that's just a piece of convenience that future Kitobi will definitely appreciate. All right, so I'm going to show you how I mix up my mica powder. This is the first time I've done it. There's not a lot of information on YouTube that's consistent. So I'm going to give you my best estimation, and I've seen some really beautiful results with people doing this. Nice thing that comes with the box is these little scoopy things. Okay, so they came. That's nice. They're just there. I have some scales. I have 3 different cups, 3 different colors, stirry stick, and a mask. You do need the mask because this powder is very, very fine, and if it gets in your lungs, it will not leave it, so please use precaution. So on with the mask first. So if my voice sounds a little muffled now, that is because I am being smart and wearing the mask, and you should too. Okay, beautiful. So first things first is we want to just get ourselves a little bit of room. So we've got a little bit of room. I'm going to turn on my scales. Now I'll be measuring everything in grams, double checking, absolutely everything will be in grams. I'm going to tear it again. Whatever I put in there will be measured down here. I'm going to start off with the red. Okay, it's got a little protective cover on it. Oh wow, look at that. Beautiful. Put this over here nice and carefully, and I'm going to be doing 0.3 of a gram. Very, very close. 0.3 of a gram. Spreads out quite well. These are 10 grams per container, so I'm going to get a lot of usage. Okay, so I'm going to tear this off And now I'm going to add polyacrylic. This is the satin. And we're going to make this go up to 3 grams. It's very thin and it helps the mica to mix nicely. Some people just use their pouring medium, but I've decided to go with the polyacrylic. Now that I've got that, I'm going to get my little stirrer, pick it up, just turn off the scale so we don't waste it. And you really want to be slow on this. You don't want it to be splashing up and getting the powder in the air. Take your time. Scrape down the edges. Now I'll be adding this to my paints. That is just beautiful. Nice and simple. I'm going to be adding the red to a black paint that I'm using. I'm actually using this in my base. You need to make sure when you're adding the mica to your paints that you're not using opaque paint. I'll be mixing this into my paints later on. So that's the red done up. If you want to see the video where I use the paints that I've mixed up, see the composition that I made, click on the link. That should be around here somewhere. All right, click on that link. There should be a link in the description too. Okay, so I'm going to mix up the other 2 colors, put the cup on there. This is in grams. Tare the cup. Tearing is what you do, you're just leveling out the scales, making sure that it's weighing 0. Say I push down on the scales or something, drops in, it's going to weigh differently. But if I tear it, okay, it's going to zero it out, so zeroing out the scales. Then if I take the thing away, like this little stirrer, you'll see that the scales weigh differently, okay? Even bumping them. So you can see that it said 9.2, it's changing slightly. That's why we tear it, just in case there's some inconsistencies. Then we've got a base to start from. So really important. And you can find yourself tearing multiple times, just in case you bump the surface or whatever. My number 2, which is the golden. So I'm actually mixing the golden and the silvers with the gold and the silver. And you might be asking, why would you do that? Go on, ask, I dare you. The reason why I'm doing that is because I would like to have a more layered 3D effect to the gold. Remember, we're putting 0.3 into the cup. Now these are commonly known as powder scales here. You need very, very sensitive scales. So it's 0.3. Remove that before I tear. Tear. That's why there's a little T, you might have noticed on there. That stands for tear. Okay, you're going to put 3 grams. Now if you want to measure in liquid, so mils, then do it in mils. Whatever you do, keep it consistent is basically what we're doing. So really, I found after watching a whole bunch of videos, most people mix 10 parts of the mixing medium, pouring medium, whatever they use, to 1 part of the mica. Now the medium I'm using at the moment, the polyacrylic, is very thin, and I want this to integrate seamlessly into the paints I'm using. So if it's nice and thin, I'll get a nice consistent mix. And you can see how it looks like there's different layers, there's dark and light. That's all the same powder. It's just the way the light's catching it. And that's what I want in the gold. Because I feel the gold that I'm using is kind of flat. And I'm doing a commission work. This is actually the second time I'm doing this commission work for this person, or my friends I should say. And I really wasn't happy with how the first one came out. There you go. Gorgeous. Awesome. And now again, we can tear. And I'll be doing the silver now. So what was this one? This one's silvery white. And I'll show you how I mix these into the paint. I'll be using the cups directly. So 3 grams, 0.3 of a gram. Beautiful. The beauty of having my numbered box is I know exactly where these are meant to go. Too easy. And I'll always be able to grab the colours I'm after, especially once I print off my sheet. This silver is pretty much white in the cup. Still wearing my mask. Tear the scales. 3 grams of liquid. Polyacrylic. Okay. Take your time. You really don't want to get the powder into the air. I'm still wearing my mask. I'm one of these do as I say because I'm doing it too. But yeah, you don't want to muck around with this stuff. And you can probably see there's an iridescence to that silver now. I definitely can see it now myself. Not sure if the light's really catching it that well. But if you see like dark spots through it, it's because of... if you're seeing dark spots through it, it's because of the way that the light is catching the
silvery white.
And that's exactly what I want. There you go, you can see little ripples. It's much nicer, you can see the iridescence in it. All right, so I'll mix these up. Just a little bit more. Beautiful, all right. So now I'm going to mix the silver and the gold into the silver and the gold cup. And now I'm going to show you how I mix my silver paint up with my mica. And I use a very simple technique. It's the same technique I used to mix the mica in the first place. Turn on the scales. I've still got my mask on just to be cautious. Tear the scales. So we know we have roughly 0.3 of a gram of mica into 3 grams of
polyacrylic.
So there's roughly 3.3 grams. I'm going to put another 30 grams of paint into this cup. And this has already got my acrylic medium in it. My acrylic pour medium and my paint. Okay, beautiful. Right, that's it. So it's basically 1 to 10, 1 to 10. Nice and simple. So we'll just get the scales out of here. We'll start to give this a very nice slow stir. Really what I'm doing is I'm just enhancing the silver that I already had, and it's going to add an extra dimension to the silver that I wouldn't normally have from the paints I use, the pigments. Mica is beautiful for that. Mica isn't just the stone that's ground up, it's also the pigment that comes with it. So it's two things. It's a pigment and it's the ground up stone. Mica is actually used in a lot of things like cosmetics. Take your time stirring it. You'll be thankful you did. This is a good opportunity too to be able to scrape down your edges. You can see the multi-dimension. It is so much better than just the silver by itself. Give that a good stir. And I'll be doing that with my gold as well. Stir out. Okay, that's just been sitting there. The mica by itself. We'll get the gold paint. Again, this has been mixed with my pouring medium. So 30 grams. There we go, roughly 30 grams. And we'll just give that a stir. And again, we're just enhancing the gold. I actually like this gold, but having it enhanced with the mica will give it that extra, when looked at, that extra dimension. It'll be beautiful. You can already see layers forming, little rings of color. It's more depth. The light will bounce off the mica powder, just making that gold that little bit more, well, punchy. It won't just be boring. Just take your time stirring it up. But you can see those lovely rings forming. Absolutely beautiful. So that's what I do, folks. I use 1 part mica to 10 parts
Polyacrylic.
and then I put 10 parts paint to that full mixture. And that is the beautiful color you get. That is just so much better than the normal gold. I'm not sure that's showing up on camera, but I will show you the picture and how the composition looks. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you think this might help a friend of yours, don't forget to share the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.